Sorry, thank you guys for being here today. Everybody have a good week so far? Yes, yes. With gratitude, like we always do, I am grateful for all of you. Are you just waving at me, Twan, or do you have a gratitude? I know, you in 2 weeks either. It's been very odd.
Seen your husband more.
See? It's been more than he sees me. Huh, I'm right? Okay, you hear everybody like, what's going on? Twan has finally worked up the nerve to approach my very scary looking husband at the gym. Definitely, so I am grateful for that. I'm here to say. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, anybody else with gratitude today? Yes, ma'am, in the back. RT in the back.
I'm grateful for sharing. Networking meetings for us to spread our business and get to know vendors and people. And she's really good at that. I just show up.
You know what? That's what teams are about, right? And we covered from what the other one maybe it's so great at. So thanks, Sherry. Thank you, RT. Anybody else with the gratitude? Yes, ma'am.
This food
We love Suzuki. We absolutely love Suzuki. So yes, sir.
I'm grateful for Joy, who's my next door neighbor and has welcomed us in to our new house. It is the nicest thing. She's over there giving advice and welcoming us and making us feel good in our first week in there.
I love that. And we are thrilled that you are here. We are thrilled that you got this work to get them. Woo! Love the mercy. Yes.
He is a staunch negotiator.
He is a, yeah, he is. So do you know that? That they were your next door?
Yeah.
There's fans. I know you can't get away. Yes, ma'am.
Grateful in advance for Susan Rowe.
Susan looks surprised. What?
I'm out of town next week and she's gonna be handling.
All the contracts. All the contracts coming in.
All the headaches.
I love that. That's why we work together. So, yes, ma'am.
And I'm grateful for two people who have been integral to what happened and me really understanding what's going on. Carrie, for always saying all our,
Yeah.
some of them probably mine at least for them.
Yeah.
And to Donna Patrick for really. There's so much valuable information beyond that Zoom.
Agreed. Agreed.
And she's just been so helpful and just responded to things and from that questions that come up from that, sending us resources. So those two people have really just made our transition.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Those are two very important people in our office. Our productive, our business coach, we are changing verbiage, our business coach is Carrie Walters. And then Donna helps us
Oh my
out
gosh, she's amazing.
in so many ways. And it's, for you newer agents and even for us experienced agents, the new agent boot camp, y'all, full of information. Autopsy without limits, to talk, ask questions, everything. And that is every Friday morning. Thank you for hosting that. Anybody else? Yes, Swan.
I'm grateful for the Keller Williams in general, because I visited back my hometown in Charlotte, and then I just walked into the South Park and the Valentine one, and I just felt like home away from home.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? That is lovely. Oh, good. I'm glad you had that experience. Did y'all hear that? He was in a different state, walked into a KW and was able to sit down and start working. So we absolutely love that. We try to provide that for anybody else?
Yes, me. I want to say thank you to Melba. If you guys have not utilized Melba, please, 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 if you can. She was so helpful for me this weekend. One thing about Melba is that you can text her and she responds right back. And she gives you great information. So I have to say thank you because I was in a bind and a pickle and I was like, oh my God. And I'm packing and she's like, this is the answer. This is the answer. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate her. She needs her flowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that. We're gonna go over some of these contract classes. Then we all are incredibly always grateful to Melba and for the intelligence and knowledge that she has and that she, shares with us on the daily. So, we have something exciting coming up, a couple of things. Thank you to McMichael and Gray for lunch. Yeah. You always get a cheer for the food. So they providing us with some really great classes as of late. Mark King is going to be in town July the 11th from 11 to 1 p.m. It's going to be right up at the Atlanta Athletic Club. There is no charge to this for you guys. I mean, it's crazy for you not to be there and not to gain his experience. He is no longer the president of Keller Williams, but he is still involved with Keller Williams as he teaches franchise systems organization classes, and he's very involved in the training of all of our staff. If you have the opportunity, please try to go Thursday, July the 11th, 11 to 1. Thank you for McMichael and Gray for that. And you can register right there. You'll be getting these slides after the meeting. And you can always click on the link and register.
And you don't want to miss this.
No.
You really don't want to miss this opportunity with Mark. So we can definitely.
Do you want to come on up and tell us a little bit about it, Ms. Amy?
About the mastermind?
Or about anything you would like to talk to us
Maybe
about?
our marketing crew about the mastermind, but all of our masterminds, I hope that y'all have attended. They've been really, really great. They give valuable information. They're free. There's lunch provided. So definitely, if y'all are able to attend, you definitely want to go to this one. It'll be really good. And then I guess I'll talk about our topic for today.
Yes,
Dive right in. So I'm Amy Smading with McMichael and Gray. I know most of y'all in here. But I just wanted to talk really quickly about power of attorneys. It's summertime. A lot of people are out, vacations, all the things. Just be very, very mindful of when you're scheduling your closing date. Typically a power of attorney for a buyer side, if there's a lender, not going to be really approved if it's just purely because, oh, we're out of town, we're on vacation. There's got to be a reason for that power of attorney for it to get approved. Vacation's typically not one of those reasons. Having a baby, probably a good reason for an approval. And among other things, but just make sure y'all be very, very mindful of that. Typically vacations are going to pop up right before closing. They would know pretty much a couple weeks in advance at least. So just be very mindful of that because we have to get that POA drafted, sent over to the lender, get their approval. And the faster we can get their approval, the smoother it'll be to get you on closing on time. So that's for buyer side. For seller side, and I know I've talked about this before, but I just want to reiterate, typically for a seller to have a power of attorney, can anyone tell me what type of power of attorney they need to have? Yes, specific power of attorney. If your seller mentions, oh, we have a power of attorney in place, keep that in mind. If you see at the top of it, if they're showing you a copy, if you see financial, general, durable, those are typically not going to be approved without extenuating circumstances. Military POAs are also typically always going to be approved. But just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, give us a call. That's what I'm here for. But just keep those dates in mind if you know that anyone has a vacation coming up and they have a closing. Any questions? All right. Well, y'all enjoy Tzatziki and we're looking forward to working with y'all.
Thank you. We keep getting on this every week. Do not be the power of attorney. All right. That's a lot of liability that you do not want. All right. So always have a fine friend or family member who can do that for them. So is this we have Kathy and Tammy. I know they were here earlier. Yeah, in the bathroom. Stuff in the back. I think we have a video.
Katie is in LA and we talked yesterday. Again, Kathy Vitale on home mortgage. I just want to thank all y'all that were here that heard the need and the prayer. And now we've got a video for everybody watching. I'm gonna go to that.
Hi guys, we just got back from the PICU. Caleb's surgery went great. He didn't end up needing the shunt, huh, Papa?
No shunt, Papa.
No shunt. And they actually took out the reservoir that he had placed in when he was 1 month, when he did the surgery then, because his surgeon feels that this time it's gonna work. So he has his checkup on July 9th, and we will see how it looks. Yeah. But Chris and I just wanted to personally thank each and every one of you guys for yes, for the support, the prayers, just thinking of us. We definitely felt it. It was great, you know, while we were going to the surgery. You know, my mom keeping us updated with everyone checking in on us, and it felt like you guys were with us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You can tell he's back to normal.
Yeah, he wants
Running
to play.
and he wants to play and act
Yeah,
like
he's
nothing
moving
happened.
around. He's eating. He's
Got a nice gracious
flirting
face.
with the nurses. He slept through the night. He's doing great, huh, bud? Can you clap? Yay! So thank you, everyone. We love you, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. They said they really felt us with them during the surgery. So thank you for everyone who tossed up a prayer, sent a happy thought, or a healing vibe. It does make a difference. And we do take care of our family. So thank you for sharing that with us. I think that made everybody's day. So I did not see Ms. Lucinda here today. Tammy Dale, Georgia National Gas, if you guys want to know where the coupons are, they are behind Miss Melody in that little workroom that's back there. All of the 210 information is back there. Lots of 210 information, Up Equity, TCS Property Management. And where's our girl? There she is. Our Mark Guru. Got a full time. Chandler, and tell us what we got going on today.
So just a reminder, everyone, that we are doing our mail service for you guys. So if you have been struggling with your monthly mailers and getting those sent out, you can either come talk to me, or we sent a little handy email where you can just fill out a little form, and we'll reach out to you and take kind of control of your monthly mailers. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is we've been getting a lot of questions about mail. It's been in the news, so I wanted to kind of give everyone a little snippet, snapshot of what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, a little recap. About in February, a Palmetto facility was created in Georgia. The facility is made to combine 4 different facilities all into one. It is a brand new system for the Postal Service entirely. So with that came a little bit of some kinks, some things they needed to work out. But the postmaster did say, he put a timeline on it. He was like, this is about how much time we need to work things out, and then we could be up and running better than before. So with that, we are about 30 days from that cutoff point, and we are seeing improvements. So at Diane Endeavors, to make sure your mail is going out and to kind of be on top of the situation, what we are doing is sending a postcard to James, our owner, all the way in Florida, with each postcard we send. Right now, we are averaging about 9.5 days from the time we put it in the outgoing mail to him receiving it all the way down in Florida. So for local mail, it might be, say, take a day away, maybe 2 days away. And you're looking at about 7 to 8 days. So, yeah. So I'm throwing a bunch of numbers out at you guys, and you might be like, okay, so what does that mean for me? So the 2 solutions we've come up with is this. If you are looking to send first class mail out to your clientele, we recommend instead of open house, send just listed. Instead of under contract, send just sold. That way your time frame is bigger with that. You can deal with the little 9-day gap we are dealing with, as well as your information is still current. The number one recommendation we do, however, is recommending switching from first class to every door direct mail, EDM for short. Basically, the difference between that is that every door direct mail is a postal route instead of a particular address that you select. With that, instead of us putting it in the outgoing mail, we are actually taking it directly to the local post office, and they put it on a truck 1 to 2 days later, and it goes out in people's mailboxes. So we are finding a lot quicker turnaround time and a lot better consistency with that.
Cheaper.
Yes, it is cheaper per unit for every door direct mail than for first class. So if you guys have any questions, I'm always happy to answer them. But I kind of, again, wanted to give you a snapshot, let you know, mail is picking up, and this change that we've kind of been seeing in the news is not gonna last much longer.
Awesome. Thank you. I feel like I'm learned a whole lot about mail, and I thought that PDM stood for something else, so I'm electronic dance music, whoever, yeah. Get it up here, get it up here, so. Thank you for that, Chandler. Let's see, broker moments, well, we've got a couple of things going on. Miss Melba is going to be teaching 3 classes coming up June 26th, 27th, and 28th at the 3 different GLG locations, North Atlanta, Roswell, Chattanooga North. Pick the one that you can go to and be there. She's going to be talking about the GAR forms, and some major changes that we need to pay attention to. And we are lucky enough to have Miss Melba here today, and she's going to share some other things with us as well. So,
First and foremost, when I got up this morning, I did not just put eyeshadow on one eye and put eyeshadow on the other. A lot of people have thought I had a smoky eye, and then I must have gotten sick and not remember to do it to the other eye. But actually, it's actually much, much better. What happened was, I know this is hard to you for you to believe, but I had my cell phone in my head and I was doing something and I went, and it hit right on that bone. And so it has been black. Thank you very much. But most people think that I just had negligent in putting on makeup this morning and got deferred and just put it on one side. My son-in-law on Sunday said, I really have a great idea. And he said, what? I thought you just put eyeshadow on this side. Nobody. And he was probably right. So I am Melba Franklin. I am the broker. Andy Peters obviously is the OP on record. However, Melba Franklin is one he pays to take care of everything because he sure don't want to do it. He sends me his emails, text messages, voicemail messages, and everything else, but he does not do that. That is not his job. He doesn't know how to do that, and he forwards all of those to me. So you need to put my telephone number in your fast dial and call me anytime when you have a broker issue, right? Yeah. Some of you have called me and we have worked our best to take care of it. So I do go to every team meeting every month. And so this one happens to be on the 3rd Tuesday. So is that right? 4th Tuesday. I apologize. Thank you. I could tell, yeah, Joanne was counting that that I think is affected her brain. The 4th Tuesday is always Roswell. So that's where I come. What I do is I take the same message to all the team meetings. And so the topic is not the changes, because heaven knows I'm not going to bring those up until Thursday. There is, and it wasn't mentioned, but I do need to make sure you know about it. On Wednesday at 12 o'clock, there will be a Zoom with Andy Peters. You need to be on that Zoom. It is from 12 to 1. Everybody got it? I'm sure the slide will come up in a minute, but the reason I tell you that is this reason. When Andy makes the announcement or talks about what is coming forward with the NAR changes and the forms that come out July the 1st, then I will not teach a class to bring it up until Wednesday afternoon is the first class from 1 to 5 at Windward. The second class will be here on Thursday it's 2 to 5. Yeah. And then on Friday, it'll be 10 to 1 at Chattanooga. And Andy will say this, we're not making it mandatory because we don't do that, but this is as close to mandatory as you can get. So we do that, and that's why we're inviting all of the offices to all of the classes, because hopefully you'll be able to go to one of them during that time. But what my message is during the month of June, where am I? The month of June is regarding earnest money. We're having some issues relative to earnest money. No, the other slide, please. On the contract, this is what it says. That in the event any earnest money is not honored upon the bank of which it is drawn, our earnest money is, now listen to this. Our earnest money is not received. Can you read? No, it's not received timely. Holder, Holder, shall promptly get notice to the same to buyer seller, and buyer has 3 banking days from the date of receiving the notice to cure the default. And if buyer does not do so, seller has 7 days thereafter to terminate this agreement upon notice to the buyer. However, it says if seller fails to terminate this agreement timely, seller's right to terminate is hereby terminated. So let me tell you a little bit about that so that you can understand it, because I'm dealing with it on a regular basis. So earnest money in your contract may say, earnest money to be received, don't say 2 days. Yeah, it's common, it's not uncommon. 2 days for binding agreement. Everybody with me? And I do not like, we all know the answer to this, right? I do not like attorneys holding earnest money. If Joe O'Kelly was standing here, if Randy was standing here, they would tell you, that's not the real job. And they don't really like to do it, but they're more than happy to do it for you. Everybody, they're more than happy to do it, but you don't need to let them hold it. You've done it, your broker should hold it. Okay, that's the way it should be. You want your broker to hold it. So let me give you some examples, if I might. The earnest money needs to be received in 2 days from binding agreement day. Everybody got it? Well, up here it says that if it's not received timely, then a notice needs to go out from the holder. Let me finish. From the holder, I'll give you 2 days from binding agreement day. If it's not received by the holder, then a notice needs to be sent out. Everybody got it? Well, this is the problem that people don't realize is the understanding. The 3 banking days that the buyer has, the 3 banking days, doesn't start from the 2 days that it's supposed to be received. It starts when notice is. So we had a situation where the attorney or another agent who doesn't read contract didn't notify the buyer for 3 weeks. We've had some that have been a week. We've had some that have been longer than that, folks. The 3 banking days for that buyer to cure it doesn't start when it was supposed to be received. It starts from when the notice is sent. Does everybody get that? We've got to be better at that. So the point of this story is this. If you're the holder, make sure, I think that on the reminder of important date, I wish the first thing said, did you get the earnest money? And I'm going to say, if I'm the listing agent and the holder is the other broker, or the holder is an attorney, how's the attorney going to get it? Are they going to give it to the agent to give to the attorney? Say yes. If you're the buyer's agent and an attorney's holding it and you represent the buyer, they're going to give it to you to give to the buyer. Am I right? To give to the attorney, right? Okay. So I said on the reminder of important date, if I'm a listing agent, I'm going to call every day to the other agent, that's the buyer's agent, that they're holding or their attorney's holding it. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? If they say to me, yes, I got it, I get a copy of a deposit. I can care less. I'm just going to say, would you send me a text or an email to confirm that you received it? And they do. They're licensed in the state of Georgia, am I right? Did they tell you they got it?
Yeah.
Let's say they eat it, they burn it, they gamble with it. That's not your problem, is it? Because what did they tell you? They got it. Well, they're responsible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're responsible for it. I'm going to move forward. The problem is we don't follow up with that well. And as a listing agent, we need to do it better. And if you're the holder, you need to be more careful about giving the information via notice. Ideally, the notice is 816. And this is what it looks like. I'm telling right, I'm trying to make it legalese or hard. All you need to put is, you're sending this from the buyer agent. You would say, earnest money not received as per agreement. Buyer has 3 banking days from this notice to provide earnest money to holder. Does that make sense? Simple. So now you've notified the parties and the buyer has 3 banking days. If the buyer doesn't cure it in the 3 banking days, you have 7 days in the seller to terminate. Now I'm going to terminate on the 4th day. I'm not even going to breathe good. but I want to get it terminated, right? So, because in Georgia, you really don't have to have earnest money. And I'm not gonna tell a lie, it was in another office, and they were sitting on the front row when I tell the story. Their seller elected not to terminate during the 7 days because the buyer kept saying they were gonna get it, they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it. Obviously, he had to go all the way to closing, obviously, the buyer didn't close, and we have in writing that we had told him over and over again, you have a right, but when he waited 7 days, he waived his right to terminate the agreement and then had to go to closing. Everybody got it? So we need to be more mindful about, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? Everybody get the point? Did you have a question? Oh, I'm so sorry. Any questions about that? So that's the message that I'm bringing to you because we're getting a slew, but if you don't have any questions, then we all got it, right? Good, you got it, yes.
One question. Does the seller have the right to terminate without doing the notice and stuff or not?
Well, when you terminate, regardless, we need you have to do it. Yeah. Oh, you need to take notice, it wasn't said?
Because if the buyer did not send the earnest money, can the seller terminate because they have not met the terms?
Well, how would you know that? Where's the document in the file? I'm gonna go away tomorrow and you're gonna go away. What does the file say? File never said anything. You got to do the notice. What the contract says. The contract is a contract. And it says notice. Now, there has been some debate about, well, what if I send the notice via text or email? I'm not gonna answer that, but I'll take it. You know, I'll take it, but ideally, 816 is the way to do it. You'll notice at the bottom, it's not on here, at the bottom of the notice, it says the party sending it. It doesn't have to be a buyer or seller. So you as the holder, representing the holder, your holder's office, or your attorney, then you can send the notice over, so you could send it, I didn't get it. But a text or an email, I'll take it. Still gonna terminate in 3 days, or the buyer needs to do it in 3 days. And folks, let's be honest. If the earnest money was supposed to receive by the buyer in 2 days, I mean, they could have had a car accident or the child got sick or blah, 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 blah. So that's why the contract allows the buyer to have 3 banking days after notice is sent to cure it. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I am having a problem representing the seller and the buyer is wiring money to the attorney. And then,
I don't like attorneys on the but that's your story.
we won't do that.
No.
But then what happens is that then when I get the notification from the attorney, it's not there by the date, even though supposedly it was wired. When it's
Okay, what she's saying is that the attorney was supposed to get it within 2 days, but the attorney didn't get it, but they got it.
They got it.
I ain't gonna.
Deposited on, it was deposited until Wednesday or something.
Well, they didn't send the notice when they didn't get it, I move on.
So
They got it,
So-
so, but seller cannot terminate.
Well, it's what's doing it, so I'm having to go back and do amendments saying everybody agrees that.
You can do that.
Return. I mean,
That's the ideal way to do it, keep that.
a notice. I didn't need to do a notice when I didn't get proof that it was accepted by the attorney on top.
If you didn't get it in 2 days, then the contract says that I should not receive it in 2 days, you need to put a notice, give the seller 3 days.
That's
3 days. I'm just a little person with the contract. We have attorneys in here that might answer it, but I'm just helping you with the contract. Yes.
So to this point, following along what she said, if you send the notice, the money didn't arrive, you send the notice, they still have 3 days to cure. So if they said, I sent it. And
As long as you can validate that it was received within 3 banking days from notice, you're fine. You don't need to do anything else. Now, if I'm the listing agent and that notice went out, what am I gonna do? Does anybody remember those 3 words? Did you get it? Yeah. That's the word, there's 3 banking days, right? Guys, this is not hard. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Does it matter if you do the amendment of this form as one thing?
The amendment, what's the amendment? It has to be signed by how many people? You can't amend a contract without an amendment. It has to be signed by the buyer and the seller. Thank you very much. A notice is a notice only signed by one. When you're read the contract, it talks about notice, it defines what it is, tells you how to deliver it. and it said noted. That's why we have a form. It's called 816 notice. I use it because it's a great file to keep in your filing command to cover your settings. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chandra. I'm very new, so take it easy on. I want to know your opinion and your professional opinion about why it's important as realtors to hold the earnest money versus sending it to the. Two questions.
Once again, I repeat, it's not really their job.
Okay.
They're closing a trade. They're not really, that's not what they do. Now, they do it as a courtesy, but I'll tell you right now, Deidre will stand right here with oath authority, and she will stand right here and say, we don't really like to do it, but we're happy to do it for you. Years ago, attorney, how many, for those who've been in the business for a long time,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the law changed with the state of Georgia. The Georgia Real Estate Commission changed, and if you look how it, I'm talking to them.
No,
It decided, it said that the Real Estate Commission changed the law that you can have, open up a company in Georgia. If you're not holding earnest money, if you're not holding funds for other people, you can open up a firm. Well, that checked if you do the record, that law came out, and within a month, probably 300 offices opened up.
Right.
Because they didn't have to hold other people's money. Well, if they were going to sell real estate, and they were thinking about having business where they needed to hold escrow their clients, well, what they couldn't do it because they didn't, that was not the way they got their license with the real estate commission. So they said, what are we gonna do? So they called in attorneys. The attorneys went, oh, okay. Well, for the first year or two, I screamed and I yelled about attorneys holding earnest money. But the Forbes Committee with Georgia Association of Realtors realized it wasn't going away. So they came up, but it was several years after the attorneys were doing it, that now they came out with 510 and 511. So if you want to know the truth, 510 is an exhibit, and if an attorney's holding earnest money, they have to, is an attorney a part of the contract? No, ma'am. So they came out with 510, which is an exhibit attached to the contract. 511 is an agreement that has to be signed by the attorney saying, I will abide by that. It's a pain.
Yeah. It's waiting for them to send it back.
What? It's a pain. We had an agent in this market center who, it was a $25,000, and he said, I had the exhibit, but he had not followed up to get the agreement signed and uploaded. You don't want to know the end of that story. There's two top agents, there's probably some in here as well, but there are two top agents in the North Fulton office. One is called Brian Smith, and the other one is Reed Casey. And they would come here and stand up and say, they will get shot in the head before they'll ever let an attorney hold earnest money. Has nothing to do with our alliance partners. It was another attorney. I just want clarity. It was another attorney that when the buyer bought the property, he was an investor and he always used this attorney. He did not close, bad reasoning why he didn't close. And so he was in default and the seller would get the earnest money. But this attorney being his friend.
Oh, yeah. And it's up to the interpretation.
And now this holder has got 65, this was last October, and it took him to February after me screaming and yelling at him to do something. He wouldn't do the 10-day letter, and now he has sent it to interpleader court.
So that was gonna be my follow-up question. The broker, you guys manage that part.
You know, 10-day letters, folks, as much as I love all of you, I look at a contract. And if people do not sign L522 unilateral notice to terminate, and at the bottom proposed dispersal of earnest money, if you read the contract, it reverts to the holder. The holder has to send out a 10-day notice. And as much as I love you and how you do your business, I read the contract and I am going to make the 10 days. I really, really love her. But I had to make a decision. And I had to do a 10-day notice to the other party. Because I am going to read that contract, whether we represent them or not, and make an honest, I'll be in real estate, I've been doing it 48 years. And I'm not going to jeopardize by not making a clear and concise decision relative to earnest. So who disperses earnest money for the 3 offices? Me. I'm the broker. I write the 10-day notices, and bless her heart. It was sad, but it was honest. Quick thing, the forms did change in 2024. I'm sure these attorneys are sitting on pins and needles because it needs to be said. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the form did change. The attorney represents the lender in the mortgage. But if it's cash, the attorney represents the buyer. So I think the form was changed in 2024 to say this, that if it is a cash deal, the attorney holds the money, the attorney is obligated because he represents the buyer to send it to him. Did you hear what I just said? The form changed. And so, yeah, some of you've already experienced that. So another reason why you don't want to just have it carte blanche go to the interpleader court. It's a good thing in a way and a bad thing. I'm gonna sit down.
This could go on and on and on and on and on though, but I mean, it's a thank you for speaking on it. It is definitely something that needs to be addressed. And I think she made it very clear that we need to hold the earnest money whenever we can, because the holder of the earnest money is the one that makes the interpretation on where the money is going to go. But that being said, the right interpretation will always be made because it's always going to be what's fair. So lot of different pathways to go down with the earnest money. Thank you so much, Melba. Tools to run your business. This is going to be in your slide deck every week. You can click on these and it will take you through. I'm going to mention the playbooks again. There are probably 15 playbooks in command. If you have a question on something, click on playbook. The answers are in there. So here's our level up that Melba was talking about. This is Wednesday, June the 26th from 12 to 1. If you can attend, that would be fantastic. It is going to be on Zoom. This is talking about the industry changes. It is not too late to participate. This is the last week in the school supply drive. We are lacking in the number of backpacks that we have promised that we will deliver. The office is going to do 10 full backpacks as an office. We're going to contribute to that. If you guys could jump in and contribute as well, if everybody could do a backpack, we would get there. This is big. Kids need to be secure when they go to school, that they have the things that they need. So, if you want more information, did you want to say something, Marinelli, about this and Miss Renee?
I mean, no, thank you. I mean, like you said, we don't want them to be insecure. So please, that will take you to Amazon and the list is there, but you can also, I'll take Venmo and then I'll just go to Amazon and order it. That's fine too. But please, help. We want them to feel good about themselves. So
Why did the last meeting? So soon?
well, they're starting to put it together. So it will continue to charity, but you can ask them some charity.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for having us. Yeah, we appreciate it. Mastering the market of the mastermind. That's a lot of words. This is a great call, y'all. I don't know if we've had more and more people participating on it, but this is the call that Lordana does every morning, except for Tuesday. It is very in the moment. It is very local. It does have, national aspect, but she's talking about your listing and why you're having problems with this buyer. It's very pointed, very direct, and it's all about you guys. So if you can participate in this, it would be wonderful. And they also role play. That's a big thing. I think we all can learn by role play. I try to do it a couple times a week. It just keeps the words on your tongue. it just keeps them there, you know, so sometimes you don't even have to think, you can just be like, well, it's being because of it, you know, and you're thinking, I just role played that last week, so. It's a wonderful call. North up, beautiful woman down here. Buyer's consultation, June the 20th. Issue. Issue. We did have really beautiful people in our pictures. But Joyce was gonna be teaching buyer's consultation Wednesday, June 26th. We all need to come to buyer's consultation. There are a lot of changes. She is going to help us let everyone know our value proposition, lots of featured events over here. Yes, Ms. Joyce.
Look, and it's only going to be from 11 to 12 because at 1 o'clock we have our panel for Voices of GLG. So if you're able to come by that would be great. And I'm on the panel for that. So, and we do more role play and interaction because the goal is to get you but I talk really loud. Want to get you engaged and understand the process so it becomes natural to you. So it's not that I'm reading a script. Okay, I will represent you that you don't want to do. We want to make it natural. So it's going to be fun and interactive. So I look forward to seeing all of you all on tomorrow. And I'll remember who I am when I slip.
Yeah. She's got a beautiful picture of herself. She's like,
Would you in person and Zoom, or you want in person only?
For me, I think that when you do in person, it actually gets you engaged because you get distracted when you're inside the Zoom room. So that's my personal preference because you can't role play as well when you can, but I'm here. I'll be here. You'll be here. Beautiful faces. So come out and hang out with me. I'm fun. Can I just say something? Joyce has been in the business for at least almost 30 years. No, how about 33? Okay. 30 years. So she's a wealth of information. And when I started, we started about the same time. But she was even helpful for me, and I've been in for 22 years. But she's been very helpful in terms of helping me understand buyers better. So I would highly encourage you if you can to take, and she is a top producer here in the office and also on the leadership council. So she's a wealth of information.
Fun. What's important? Thank you, Sissy. Right? Fun. All right. Oh, y'all, we have business class. Oh, we have a question. Did we have a question?
From 11 to 12 in here, are y'all gonna broadcast Andy's Zoom at noon here that we're all signed up for?
Yes.
Sign up for?
Oh, are we gonna broadcast the Zoom here?
If there's not a conflicting class, we will. I don't think there is, so we can do that.
Yes.
I don't know how.
So then you could just hang out.
Those classes are in person only though, because they're.
No, classes are in person only, but you can, most often, yeah. I would come to the office and do it in a group.
Yeah.
You can't do it here, find someplace.
We do. And we do have a class today, Tuesday, this is Tuesday, June 25th. From 1 to 2, Arvel's gonna be in here talking about the How Money Works Masterclass. It is a very intriguing book. It will give you a lot of ideas. So you're available for that today, wonderful. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. Voices is going to be in the Chat North office on tomorrow from 1 to 3. And then Mastering Contacts Workshop. We've got everybody in on this one. This is gonna be a great one. Thursday, June 27th is Thursday from 11 to 12:30 in the training room. Marinelli, Fabiola, Donna, and Kathy. That is a star-studded class, y'all. Star-studded panel to teach you about mastering contacts. As we mentioned earlier, New Agent Boot Camp with Miss Donna Patrick, a wealth of information. I've heard that they're really enjoying that class.
Donna McClure is actually covering this.
Oh, is she up there with a Donna? Okay, we'll have a Donna. There will be a Donna. There will be a Donna teaching New Agent Boot Camp, okay? Lots to be up to. So Ignite is going to be back in July for all of you who have not taken Ignite yet. This is your time. You get to take it in person here at Keller Williams. Raven has worked so hard on this, y'all. And for those of you who need to make up Ignite classes from previous Ignites, this is your time.
Still register if you're making up, please. So that we can have enough materials for everyone.
Mega camp, and I promise we have a big surprise at the end of the meeting today, so, hang with us, okay? But Mega Camp is coming up in August. I'm going to Mega Camp. I would love for a lot of us to go to Mega Camp, have a wonderful time together. It is hot and blazes in Texas. Y'all, it's like front Texas, it's cold, but it really is a whole different kind of heat up. But we have fun, and I want to play. I'm from Texas, so I can show y'all around, and I want to, if we can play the short little video here on Mega Camp.
Mega Camp, wow. You have got to understand the truth about real estate. This is a simple freaking business if you let it be. Do the work, it will happen.
Y'all, Mega Camp is fun. I love the fact that Gary Keller is this incredible man who walks around with a pirate on his shirt. I mean, I just like, yes, it gets you excited. He's a little bit of a rebel. That's why this company does so well. And it is a blast. So if you can come to Mega Camp, I would love for you to come to Mega Camp. Whoa, okay, there it is. O'Kelly and Thorhan, who continues to provide us with great outings, is going to be at Mega Camp. There's going to be a happy hour Monday, August the 12th. I think that's the very first day of Mega Camp at Cafe Blue, which is right across the street from the convention center. They did it last year. It was an absolute blast. And they're going to do it again this year. So everybody's coming to Mega Camp. We're going to have a party at Cafe Blue on August the 12th, and I hope to see you there. Career visioning. This is an opportunity that does not come by that often. This is with Gene Rivers. You will get this information. Why are you laughing? Oh, okay. Snickering behind me. But Gene Rivers, this is something that doesn't happen a lot. It's open to us first. Y'all get in there and get registered before it opens up to everybody, because once it opens up to everybody, there will be no seats left.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, the opportunities that we're showing y'all today are amazing. Take advantage of the ones that you can.
If you want to look for a team or hire anybody to work on the team, this is a great class.
Absolutely. Finally, here we are. We people here that the air is very rare right now. So today we are celebrating the curtain team, and I'm scared to death of these popper things. But I you know, so I know it's gonna happen, but team time. Guys, all by herself. Okay? Team has achieved NREA status. What does that mean? Can anybody tell me what that means? Yeah, really? Exactly. Gross 1 million in GCI within a calendar year. All right, y'all, we're in June. I just want everybody to take a minute.
2 million by the end of the year.
Absolutely, she's like, oh, that's a great idea. I actually, when I sent this out to everybody, Lordana wanted to be here today. But when I sent this out to everybody, I immediately got an email back from Lordana. And I think she thought that maybe because I was new, you know, I didn't really know exactly what I was doing, okay? So in a lovely way, no, this is cute, this is super cute. So I get this little email back and it's like, wow, I'd really like to be there. I didn't put your names in the email and it said, what team do we have who has already reached MREA? And I was like, it's the curtain team. So she was super impressed. I am super impressed. Y'all, this is who we want to aspire to work like and to be. So, couple of questions. And if y'all have any questions that you don't see up here, yes, ma'am.
I just want to say something before they get started.
Yeah.
I joined this office 14 years ago in July, so I'm coming up on, and then I left for 6.5 years, and now I'm back. But when I was here 14 years ago, I would sit in classes that Joanne would teach, and I would walk out the door, and a client would ask me a question, and I would know the answer.
That's true. That's true.
Say what Joanne told us to say.
Oh.
It was great. So,
Thank you, Susan.
thank you.
I mean, look at the impact. You don't get, you're so good at what you do and you do it every day. And I don't think that all of you truly realize the impact that you have on the people in this office. Everybody wants someone to look up to. Everybody wants someone to celebrate. And you are those people for us right now. And it's just fantastic. So I'm gonna ask questions. You guys pop in at any time, okay? No, I think they're all on here. So tell me what makes the curtain team special? Joanne. What's the team special? We have a lot of teams in this office, okay? A lot of people working really, really hard. What makes you guys able to achieve what you have done?
I would say, I would say the curtain team is special because it is a family outside of our personal families. And if we're gonna work with each other, we wanna love each other. So we're very, we're humanitarians. We have a nonprofit. We support local school teachers and we do things for the community. And I mean, we have built a team that we would want to join. Okay. And that's kind of changed over the years, but it is something that we love and maybe that's the culture.
So is that something that's become more important to you as the years have gone? Like maybe at the beginning, it was like, this is the business, we're doing this, we're doing this like this. And so that goes into the next question.
Yeah.
What would you do differently from where you started? Look at Tom. Feel like Tom, just like,
Sometimes so start from something.
Tom, what would you have done differently from when you started to where you are now?
I think you have to be willing to make mistakes, and we certainly made a lot of mistakes along the way. We were willing to try. In some ways, I think we could have done certain things faster, that we held on to things too long, like Joanne and I both held on to certain roles longer than we needed to. So we could have done it faster. But the mistakes, I think, are how we grow and learn. And so I don't know that I would change those necessarily. I mean, maybe
It's hard to. So
I love the
delegating.
I love the fact, Tom, that you're sharing that because there are a lot of people in the room that if you were inspired, it didn't, I love what Joanne said, but it didn't happen, it evolved.
Yeah.
And so you have to fail fast, fail forward. And I love, there are mistakes. People got to understand that, don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, that our team really is, we have a lot of systems in place, but it's not like we came up with them, they evolved, right? Like, because this happened, we put this step in place and that. And so I think that's part of what makes our team. It's made up of like these systems and all this.
And how comfortable are you now? Because I think that a lot of us struggle with the delegation. It's like, we're doing it, we're making the money, all the stuff is happening, all the good stuff. And now it's time to bring on some more people and oh my gosh, and they're not going to do it the same way that they are.
Yeah.
How hard was that?
Well,
So I think that's
the kitchen table story that we always kind of bring back up when we talk about hard times, because you'll get to a point where you're doing it all
and then things start to crumble, there's a shift, your systems have breakdowns, and then you're like, okay, we can either do this ourselves and, you know, and have full control, but be miserable and never see our families, which is not the life worth living that we joined the freaking company.
Right.
So, or we can swallow our pride, tuck our tail, say we're wrong, swallow our ego, and just let other people help us too, without knowing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that, you know, I think that's where you have to be, almost that breakdown point where you don't have a plan B. There's not another place to go. We just I call it the Shawshank pipe, you know, the Shawshank pipe. You have to just go through it. You can't do anything other. You have to go through it. And we've all had our Shawshank type stories, and we're proud of those, you know, because that's success, I feel like.
That's learning, and that is growing, and I love.
And you will not go back through the pipe again once you do it once.
So a couple of things that she said, they got to the point, they were full up, they had too much, they had to make the decision to let go and let some other people. And I think that's really where a lot of us are. Along those lines, what is the MREA model that you guys adhere to most closely? Or is it a lot of different?
Well, I love change, which is part of the problem, but this guy is very consistent.
Dragged in behind her.
And when we decided Tom would be the CEO and run the model, that was like the win.
Yeah, I think, you know, that model is just a hodgepodge of like Gary interviewed a bunch
It
of
is.
teams, right? So there's really, like, you won't ever talk to a team that runs anything to that model. And with us being husband and wife, like that makes a different dynamic with how you're gonna do your organizational chart and all that. I mean, I don't think we stick to any of the models exactly. I mean, we're definitely out of whack with budget, but part of that's by choice that Joanna and I choose to have more leverage for more time, right? So we don't run close to that. Organizationally, I mean, we've tried different things, you know, some of
Take a little bit of
that
that.
works, some of it doesn't work.
Right.
But I think we've got a pretty good organizational structure. I mean.
Speaking of that,
close on that.
you're probably already gonna do this, but I'm dying for you to introduce your team and tell us their roles, because I'm trying to understand.
Thank you, Melba. I just got so into it, I forgot. So yes, please, I was like, please.
I'll let y'all introduce yourself.
Thank you, Melba.
My name's Julia. I'm the marketing manager. I've been with them for 3 years. My name is Lynn and I'm the account manager, and I've been with the team a little over a year.
I'm the newbie.
Join me.
Joined the team in, end of December, January. I moved from Switzerland about 20 years ago.
Awesome.
And my background as an expat, helped me, help people that move and relocate.
And she was past final.
Thank you. So they're recruiting us.
I'm done, I know, thank you for this information, because I did not know. And so it helps me how your organization, so you don't have a buyer's agent?
No, we do. We have, well.
Not everybody's here.
Yeah,
Not everybody's here.
not everybody's here, so.
Well, that's why I wanted you to be.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we don't adhere exactly with, like, you must do buyers, you must do listings. So we
Okay.
have some that do both, and then we also have an IFA that's not here right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Shelby Kelly.
So you have 2 more people on your team that are not here, right?
Sherry Bonner, Kanani Briggs,
Yeah,
Virginia Kavanaugh, and Shelby Kelly,
and Shelby.
and Heather Woodruff.
And those people, what is an ISA, and the other people do listings and.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
I know, we wish everybody.
That's the kind of mixing of all the models.
Yeah.
Which were, thank you, Melba, for, I totally forgot the most important thing, which was introducing the whole thing. Tell me how your success as a team has impacted you in a positive, personal way. What has it allowed? Because I know we all have dreams. I know we all work for reasons. Tell me how you've been able to achieve some things that were goals for you by the hard work that you guys have accomplished.
I'll start. So Well, 5 years, I think it's 5 years ago, we started our nonprofit, which was always a
Yeah.
goal of ours. So we're able to do some cool things through that. And then we have, from the beginning, always invested in real estate. So we've been able to invest in real estate and then teach other people how to invest in real estate. So that's been definitely life-changing for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope everybody's hearing that because we would love for everybody to start investing in real estate. No matter how small, it's something that doesn't decrease in said. Finally, I'm almost scared to ask, what's next for the Curtin team? Besides the continued fabulous. Do we have anything, or we're just gonna continue to forge ahead? Do we have some big goals? What are we thinking?
Well, I mean, I feel like we've got work to do in the marketplace. People need help. They're confused.
you.
They don't have direction. And why did we get into this business to begin with? It was to, you know, I mean, help people,
Yes.
right? And,
Like-
and actually get paid well to do it. So, I mean, I think we do have a job to do and that is really, I think, the goal in front of us.
Getting back.
Yeah, to our team and to our community. So,
Well, I was gonna say that continuity is easier said than done, right? I mean, when you think about, first time we were MREA team was in 2015, so we're almost at 10 years. But single year, you know, wake up and keep doing it is a challenge, so.
Yeah.
You know, for that, I think, just the consistency.
No matter
There's
who else
not many
struggle with
teams,
that.
I don't know, there's not many teams that, you know, you can do it for a short time, but to keep doing it. challenge,
Admirable.
right? I mean, you've seen it.
That is admirable. And that's adapting to the market.
Yeah.
Adapting to new members on the team. That is constant adaptation.
well, and also, you know, talked about investing. I mean, our goals were always investing, like to get into the business. It was really an investing move. And oh, by the way, how are we going to make the investments happen? We have to sell real estate. Oh, yeah. And so, you know, but the big why was really strong. And I feel like, you know, when other people on the team hear of the wins of investing and they start applying those or sharing them with their kids, I mean, that is the best thing ever, is to share, you know,
You're leading by example.
yeah, how we can really, you know, change our lives and change our thinking.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for all of that. We have a little something for each of you. I'm gonna start down here. Can we give it up? And we appreciate your continued learning and the assistance and everything that you do and giving us a little look up in our office. So thank you guys. Thank you. Oh, yeah, grab one.